primary 4 to 7. Welcome back to Tuesdays with Mrs. Parker. Today, just like all the other weeks, we are going to kick off by practicing our Learn It questions by doing our Beat That test. And then a number of weeks ago, you guys helped select the areas of maths that you think need a bit more practice. So this week and next week, we will be taking some of those suggestions and using our video lessons to really practice some skills that you're finding a bit tricky. After that, as always, there'll be a chance to try an activity on IXL which will let you master the skill that we've been working on, and I will be there in the live classroom if you need any help as we go along. As always, we will start with our Learn It's. The last few weeks we have been showing the questions on screen and you just have to write down the answers on your piece of paper in front of you. If you'd like to print it out, I will share those on our virtual classroom, but you don't have to. You'll have a 30-second timer and you're going to complete as many questions as you can before the time runs out. At the end, if you'd like to go back and try some of the ones you might have missed, that's okay. Remember, in class we like to use a coloured pencil so that we can see how many questions we answered in the time and how many questions we answered altogether. The next thing we're going to look at is subtraction with exchanging. So that's where you have to go and borrow tens, units or hundreds from the column next door to help you solve the taking away. Now there's a little silly rhyme that I use when I do this and it sounds a bit like this. If there's more on top, don't stop. If there's more on the floor, go next door. So if we were to set out a little example and do it together, let's try 533, we'll take away 476. 533, take away 476. We, as always, start over at the units. So let's use that little rhyme. If there's more on top, don't stop. Well, is 3 more than 6? No. If there's more on the floor, I have to go next door to borrow some more. So the biggest numbers on the floor, I go next door and I borrow some more. So I've got 3 tens here. I'm going to borrow one of those tens. So I score away the 3. There's not 3 anymore. There's only 2 tens left. And the 10 that I'm borrowing needs to come and live here, making this 13. Take away 6. Let's count back. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 13, take away 6 is 7. Let's go and look at the next column. So this is my tens column. I've got 2 tens, take away 7 tens. If there's more on top, don't stop. If there's more on the floor, go next door and borrow some more. There is more on the floor here. I've got 7 on the floor, 2 in the top. 7 is the bigger number. I'm going to have to go next door and borrow some more. So here I've got 5 hundreds. I need to borrow 100. So I'm going to score away the 500s. I've only got 400 left now. And the 100 that I'm bringing over is going to live here. 12, take away 7. 12, take away 7. Let's count back. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 12, take away 7 is 5. And if we look at our final column, because we had to borrow one from here, I've only got 4 on the top. I've got the same amount on the top and the bottom. So 4, take away 4, leaves me with nothing at all. So I could put a 0 in here, but it tells me that there's no hundreds in the number. So the final answer is 57. Let's try another 3-digit example a bit like that. Let's do 213, take away 104. 213, take away 104. Okay, so I'm going to start with my units as always. Is there more on top or more on the floor? Which number's bigger? The number on the floor is bigger, so I have to go next door to borrow some more. So if I hop over to the tens column, I need to borrow 110. Unfortunately, there's only one there, so if I take that one away, then there's nothing left. The one that I've borrowed, I drop off on the top, and now I've got 13, take away 4. Let's count back. 12, 11, 10, 9. Get 9 here. Okay, these two numbers are equal. 0, take away 0, still 0. And then nice and straightforward over the side here. 2, take away 1 is 1. My final answer is 109. Okay, I've got one more I'd like to show you, because sometimes we'll come across a situation where we get a number like this. There's 500 on top. And below that, let's have 136. What problem do you think we might run into when we try to solve this one? Think about what might happen when we want to exchange and borrow from the next column. Okay, let's start it the same way we normally would. 0, take away 6. Is there more on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor, but when I try to go next door to borrow, there's nothing here to borrow from. So I have to go next door again. I bump along until I find a number that I can use. So I'm going to score out the 500s. I'm going to leave them with 400s. And I can't, unfortunately, just bring it straight to where I need it, because it's far too big at the moment. I've got 100 that I've borrowed. I'm going to drop it off in the tens. And then guess what? I'm going to score that away and borrow 1 from here. So they are left with 9 tens. And the spare 10 is going to come and live here where I need it. 10, take away 6, count back, get 4. Let's see this one. More on top or more on the floor? Well, now we've got more on top, so we don't stop. 9, take away 3 is 6. And 4, take away 1 is 3. 364. Okay, now it is your turn to go and try a few examples. I've put 3 different subtraction sums down here. You are going to set them out in that column method, just the way we saw in the examples. And then once you've had a wee go at them yourself, we will talk through the answers. So you go and collect your pencil and your paper and you can get started. time for some answers. Let's start over at the units. So I've got more on top or more on the floor. Well, there's definitely more on the floor. So 6 means I have to go and try and borrow, but there's nothing to borrow from, so I'm going to have to move over again to the hundreds. I'm going to borrow one of these hundreds. I need to drop it off in the tens column first, and then I need to take it away from there. So there's no longer 10, there's actually 9. 9 tens, and then the 10 that I want I can drop off in the right place. So now we've got 13 take away 6. Let's count back. 13 take away 6, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, more on top means don't stop. So I can do my take away sum straight away. 9 take away 4 is 5, and 1 take away 1 is 0. So I can actually leave that out completely. Oh, that's interesting. Look, 203 take away 146, 57. That just happens to be the exact same answer as the very first example we did, but with a different question. Okay, question number 2. Is there more on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor, so I have to go next door to borrow some more. So I'm going to borrow one of these 10s. There's no longer 6 10s, there's only 5. And the 10 that I want has to drop off here. Okay, 17 take away 8 will be 9. 5 take away 9, is there more on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor, so go next door to borrow some more. There's no longer 300s, there's only 200s left. The one that I want I'm going to drop off here. 15 take away 9 is going to be 6. And 2 minus 2, just like before, 200s take away 200s, there's nothing there. There are no hundreds left, so the final answer is 69. And then last but not least, more on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor, so go next door to borrow some more. There's no longer 3 10s, there's only 2 10s left. And the one that I want is going to get dropped off here. 10 take away 2, now I can do it. 10 take away 2 is 8. 2 take away 4, we've got more on the floor, so go next door to borrow some more. There's no longer 700s, there's only 6 left. The 100 I want is going to come and live right here. 12 10s take away 4 10s, leaves me with 8 10s. And then 600s minus 200s is 4. So my final answer there, 488. Well done if you managed to get those. If not, don't worry, you've got plenty more practice we can do in the assignment so we can become masters of this skill. The last activity in this lesson is going to be on IXL again. Now, you all did a tremendous job with this last week, and it was so good to be able to tune in live and watch you all playing, see what your answers were. If you made a mistake, I could even go in and have a little look at that. And hopefully some of you also got the messages I was sending during it too, because I can now send little live updates to you while you play. So this time you are looking in year 3, and it's game J6. So you're subtracting up to 3 digits. Now you definitely have to write these questions down on paper before you pop your answers in the box, all right? Because there's no chance for you to add your little markings. You can't write on the screen, you can't do your exchanging that you've just been practicing. You have to do it on paper, and then when you've got your final answer, pop the numbers into the boxes and press submit. Well done everybody, fantastic job. I told you I had lots of pictures of choice with different costumes on. So here he is, starring in Beauty and the Beast, and that's your reward for making it to the end of the lesson. Today we were learning about subtraction with exchanging. So that's when you have to carry digits over from the next column to allow you to complete the calculation. Now for some of you this will be new learning, and it is quite a tricky thing to grasp, so don't worry if you think that you need some more practice at this skill. We will be working on it for a number of weeks once we're back in the classroom, and if you'd like to, we can do another session like this while we're learning online as well. The next thing you're going to go and do to get some practice is complete your assignment. So as always, you've got your CLIC test there, and I am also uploading the CLIC 3 test in case anyone wants some extra challenge. And then you have got some subtraction questions with exchanging so that you can practice this skill and let me see how you're getting on with it. Enjoy. I look forward to seeing all your work. See you next week.